Good evening. We're talking about the border. Oh my goodness. Today is the day. Tonight at midnight, it's going to be on and popping. And of course, we're talking about President Trump. Who let that man on the stage? Let's talk about it.
Or where they went. They caught 78 known terrorists within the beginning of this year alone.
And good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. My name is Will Johnson. What a crazy time to be alive. What a crazy time to be alive. The southern border is on and popping. There's a lot of people down there reporting on it right now, capturing all this craziness live. And people look like they're bum rushing coming across the border right now because they're not waiting. And then you have Mayorkas straight up saying that everything is normal. Nothing's out of the ordinary. Everything is just fine. Everything is just fine. Listen to what he says here in this short clip. It's a really short clip. Because he says the border is what? Listen.
Our borders are not open. People who cross our border unlawfully and without a legal basis to remain will be promptly processed and removed. An individual who is removed under Title VIII is subject to at least a 5-year ban on re-entry into the United States and can face criminal prosecution if they attempt to cross again.
How many of y'all actually believe that? They created this crisis that we're seeing at our southern border, and now they're trying to act like they're tough on it. Now they're trying to act like they want to do something about it. I don't think so. He's just going out there trying to act like we're working on the border. We're trying to prevent the people from coming in if they don't have a lawful reason of being here. The most important thing that he doesn't relay is that they believe that everyone is here for amnesty. So, of course, the people that they're saying is not here for amnesty, they shouldn't be here, but they're saying everybody is. Can he give us a list of people that should not be here? Can he point out to any of them? He went down to the southern border. He told Border Patrol, don't pursue these people. Allow them to go. Allow them to go. Really? This is disturbing. Here's another one. Look at this one. The southern border is on fire, people. What is going to happen? What does tomorrow morning look like? Let alone midnight tonight. It's already happening. Watch this.
Shot earlier today right here in Brownsville. You'll see people crossing the river en masse, women, children, families, single adults. But when they reach the U.S. side of the river, they are not welcomed with open arms like we've been seeing with the federal government. They are stonewalled by the state of Texas. That is rows of concertina wire with Texas soldiers and Texas DPS troopers who are taking a much stricter approach now, physically blocking these migrants from entering Brownsville after they have crossed illegally.
Wow. All these people coming out like this. I've asked this question multiple times. They know who did this, right? The NGOs coach these people to come. The NGOs are the ones. There should be a law. There should be a law against them having these NGOs being able to operate at any capacity. Because the NGOs, they're the ones who's causing all of this problems on our southern border. They're the ones that did this. Of course, them not alone. You have the United Nations and of course, the Biden regime along with the Democrats. My question is, why do you think that the Democrats that say that they love this country, which they really don't, do they even say they love this country? I actually don't think they do. I don't know. I can't even recall the last time I heard a Democrat say, I love America. I really don't. I know they want to change America. But listen to this one with Hakeem Jeffries when he's straight up lying. And he's saying that the Republicans are actually saying the Republicans are making up this crisis on the border. Yes, you heard me correctly. Hakeem Jeffries says that the Republicans is making up the border crisis. Listen.
As is often the case with my extreme MAGA Republican colleagues, they create a fictional argument around what's happening at the border and then actually do nothing to solve the real problem. And that is exactly what the Child Deportation Act is all about.
What? They're saying that, okay, so what happened today, Shannon? What happened today? Did the Republicans actually pass something today? I think that they did. So Hakeem Jeffries is saying that the Republicans didn't do anything, but what?
Yeah. Yep. Today, McCarthy-backed border bill passes the House before Title 42 ends. And guess what, Will? The Senate has already said that it will not pass. It will die in the Senate. And
so it's going to die in the Senate because of Mitch McConnell and Chucky Ducky Schumer.
Their number one issue, Will, their number one issue is that they're too stringent on asylum. They don't want to loosen
But Mayorkas just said that they're not going to allow people into the country that shouldn't be here.
They're lying.
So now it's going over to the Senate, and the Senate's saying, "Oh, wait a minute, the Republicans, you're not being lenient.
You know what? If
you're not being real lenient, you're not going to allow the criminals to come in."
If they really want to do something about the border, all they have to do is pass this bill or at least negotiate it. They aren't even negotiating. This is a party that says they were about transparency. They lied. They said they're about free speech. They lied. They say that they're about negotiating. They lied. They are about control. Whatever's happening right now is 100% on their shoulders. Yes. Congress is doing their job. Republicans are doing their job. Yes. They passed the debt ceiling bill. They passed the border bill to tighten it up and cut people off.
Yes.
And guess what? The Democrats aren't doing anything.
The Democrats aren't doing diddly.
Except complaining and saying they're not doing anything when literally they're the ones not doing anything, but we know that's how it works.
Exactly. And you know what else the Democrats are ignoring, Shannon? You know what else they're ignoring? They're ignoring the Biden crime family's 100%. Activities. I mean, my goodness, people.
Do you know that ABC News, NBC News, CBS News did not give a single report on the Biden crime family that Comer released yesterday? Really? Didn't even give it a minute of time.
So I was correct.
Yep, 100%.
They ignored it. The entire Alphabet Network soup group ignored it. Well, except for Fox News. Right. And Fox News, I think they're trying to hold on to a thread right now. They're trying to hang on. But listen to this one here on Fox News where they're actually talking about the Biden crime family. We're talking about millions and millions of dollars. And you know the reason why ABC, CBS, NBC, all of the whole Alphabet Network soup group didn't say anything about it? Because they are state media. Do you know what state media is? Well, listen to this.
And said that the smoking gun were these financial records that you were able to subpoena and got your hands on. They show that some of the president's relatives were paid more than $10 million from foreign sources between 2015 and 2017. And your party, the Republican investigators, say that that's proof of influence peddling by Hunter and James. But that's just your suggestion. You don't actually have any facts to that point. You've got some circumstantial evidence. And the other thing is, of all those names, the one person who didn't profit is there's no evidence that Joe Biden did anything illegal.
Really?
And that's why they're hanging on by a thread.
Really?
Because...
They laid it... But see, the thing is... See, this is like typical with Fox News.
Yep.
They laid out all this information. So the thing is, why would the Republicans come out and say they have all of this evidence to show all of this corruption that's taking place and not actually have the evidence? Are they doing, is it possible that the Republicans are doing the exact same thing they did when it came to Russia? Are they doing the exact same thing there? Are they doing it there as well? I don't think so. And if it wasn't, let me put it this way. If it wasn't true, all of the liberal media outlets would be talking about it. All of them would be saying it's not true, it's not true, it's not true. But they don't even want to touch it. They don't even want to talk about it. Why? Because they're protecting the Biden crime family. Well, here's one about last night. And I did a short video just last night. And I got off real quick because I wanted to watch some of the CNN. And I ended up missing it. To be honest with you, I ended up missing it. But I got the highlights. I got some of the highlights. And I'm going to do commentary on the highlights here. This first video clip that I have for you, this is a panel of people on CNN, and you know how sometimes after the debate and they're talking and stuff, and they're just trying to get the feel of the people, right? Well, listen to this because they're talking about 2020. And of course, the left, they can't stop talking about 2020, but they want everyone to believe that it's President Trump talking about 2020. Now, listen to this interaction.
Does it bother you that he keeps talking about 2020 and not 2024? I'll ask you first. This is Jonathan Leslie. He's 40, Republican, voted for Trump twice. How do you feel about those lies?
So I feel like part of it's also the media narrative, as you guys asked him the first question at the town hall about the 2020
Listen
election,
to that.
rather than current stuff.
So don't you think he could say it's time for me to start talking about 2024 and not lies that aren't true?
Couldn't the media ask him a question about 2024?
Well, there were questions, but you're right. That was the first thing, but that's something that was on our mind. And that's why I was asked first. Michael.
What? He got, you know what? Thank you to that gentleman on the panel there for actually bringing it to light. Could you ask something else about, can you ask about 2024? Can you ask about the southern border? Could you ask about the crisis that we have that's taking place? Could you ask about the gas prices? Could you ask about everything that President Trump had working in a positive environment and then they came along and destroyed it? They don't want to talk about that. They don't want to talk about that. They only want to talk about things where they can try to make President Trump look bad. They really, and you know what? They try to bring up Ukraine because President Trump has already told everybody day one, he'll end it. He'll make it. He'll bring it to an end. And I believe that he can do it. I believe he can do it because President Trump knows how to address these world leaders. President Trump knows how to talk to them. What the most interesting thing is, though, the left, they don't want the war in Ukraine to end because just not too long ago, there was an instance where they were calling for a ceasefire to take place between Russia and Ukraine. What did the United States of America do? They stepped in and said, oh, no, we can't have a ceasefire. What are you talking about, a ceasefire? We can't have that. No, not at all. We can't do that. President Trump is like, it's not about who wins or who loses. It's about saving lives. The people that are losing, it's not the government of Ukraine. It's not the government of Russia. It's the people that's caught in between. They're the ones that's losing. They're losing their homes. They're losing their lives. But see, the left, they're not concerned about that. They're so eager to destroy Russia because they want to usher in this one world order. Right now, there's a faction of two types of world orders right now. There's one with the United Nations, which consists of United States of America, European countries, et cetera, et cetera. And then you have the other one that wants the one world order, which consists of China, Russia, Venezuela, and some other nations. So right now, they're fighting one another, trying to see who's going to be on top. But President Trump is like, we just need to save lives. Listen to what he says here in the town hall. Who let this man on this stage? Because they're mad about it. President Trump held his own, and they don't like it. They're actually even calling for a boycott of CNN, and I'm talking about the leftist liberals. Listen to this.
The question is, would you give Ukraine weapons and funding?
I was impeached by a crazy woman named Nancy Pelosi.
But the question here is, would you give Ukraine weapons and funding if you were elected?
I would sit down. Let me just put it a nicer way. If I'm president, I will have that war settled in one day, 24 hours.
How would you settle that war in one day?
Because I'll meet with Putin, I'll meet with Zelensky. They both have weaknesses and they both have strengths. And within 24 hours, that war will be settled. It'll be over. It'll be absolutely over.
Do you want Ukraine to win this war?
Listen to this.
I don't think in terms of winning and losing. I think in terms of getting it settled so we stop killing all these people and breaking them.
Thank you. Thank you.
What do you? Can I just follow up on that? You said you don't think in terms of winning and losing. Mr. President, can I just follow up on that because that's a really important statement that you just made there. Can you say if you want Ukraine or Russia to win this war?
I want everybody to stop dying. They're dying. Russians and Ukrainians. I want them to stop dying. And I'll have that done. I'll have that done in 24 hours. I'll have it done. You need the power of the presidency to do it.
Right? He wants lives saved. And she's completely rude. She's completely rude. And that's not a town hall is supposed to operate that she's only supposed to moderate. The people ask questions and she's supposed to moderate. bring up different topics to talk about, and people can ask questions. This wasn't a town hall. She took this opportunity to try to attack President Trump. That's all that was. That's all that it was. 100%. That's all that it was. So now, of course, afterwards, they get on here. Look at this one. They get on here and they lie, saying President Trump, when it came to Ukraine, they're literally lying. I mean, it's like, what are they looking at? Right? They can't see the forest for the trees. Right? They can't see it. They can't see the grass for the weeds that they planted. Listen to this.
What's the response from international allies? What are you hearing from European governments, from Asian governments who have been aligned with the U.S. and wonder what's happening after 2024?
Listen, outrage and fear, because their fear is if Trump is reelected, that the U.S. and perhaps its allies will stop supporting Ukraine. Listen, Trump used a both sides approach to that war that does not align with the facts. Russia invaded Ukraine unprovoked. It invaded the territory of a sovereign nation. And when Trump describes it as he wants people to stop dying on both sides, sure, no one was rooting for deaths on either side of this conflict. But remember, part of Russia's military strategy, as we've seen every day in that country, is to kill civilians, right? And often with evidence of war crimes. So just tell the stories and remember the stories from Bucha of rape, of men, women, and children killed in the most horrible ways, and daily
listen to this
missile and bombing attacks that target civilian infrastructure, right? So Trump's both sides description of that war does not align with the facts.
What both sides is President Trump saying of the description of the war? President Trump said, look, we just want people to stop dying because there are people dying in Russia. There's people dying in Ukraine. People are dying. We want people to stop dying. What is wrong with that? What's wrong with these people? And then they bring up what Russia sending all these rockets over to Ukraine, the same Ukraine that the United States of America is funding. And I've said this so many times. If we wanted people to, if the United States of America truly wanted people to stop dying in Ukraine, we would stop funding the war. We would stop funding it. But the leaders, the Democrats here, they're like, oh my goodness, Putin, we got to get rid of Putin. We got to get rid of Putin. They're willing to continue this war, and they don't care how many people die in the wake. And then he brings up the whole fact that sending all these rockets. Well, look at this one. Israel's getting bombarded with rockets right now, and not a single one of these tyrannical leftist liberals, you can leave a split screen, not a single one of them are talking about Israel being able to defend themselves. You have Rashida Tlaib saying, oh, we need to defend the Palestinians. Watch this. This is the Iron Dome. Look at this. And as of today, there's been, and it started like in the beginning of this week. And as of today, it's been over 500 rockets shot at Israel. 500 rockets. They send these 500 rockets at least over to Israel. And of course, none of the liberal left, they don't care. How long is it going to be before Biden says anything? You remember the last time Israel was getting bombarded with rockets, and it was thousands upon thousands of rockets being shot at Israel. Joe Biden said nothing. And then on the 13th day, the Israelis said, enough is enough. We're getting ready to wipe them all out. Then Joe Biden stepped in. Joe Biden didn't step in to help Israel. He stepped in to help these terrorists that's trying to destroy Israel. That's the only reason why Biden stepped in. But I saw another video where Benjamin Netanyahu said that, you know what, we're not going to play that. He said they're going to find out really quick. They continue this, they're going to find out really quick. So I don't think he's going to wait 13 days this time, and he shouldn't wait. Someone comes to your house and they're throwing rocks at your house and they start trying to bomb your house, and you see them doing it and you've reported to the authorities, and the authorities are not doing anything. What do? Benjamin Netanyahu's already told the United Nations, hey, y'all need to stop this. Y'all need to intervene. Stop this. And they're just like, okay, we'll look into it. No. This whole thing with the town hall with President Trump, it actually backfired on CNN. Who let that man on stage? You know they're mad right now. All over Twitter right now, they're so angry. They're so angry that President Trump went on CNN. And you know what? It's not the fact that President Trump went on there, because President Trump could have gone on OAN. He could have gone on LFA TV. He could have gone on Fox News, and they'd be like, oh my goodness, they're just giving him a platform. That's shame on them, shame on them. But they're really butthurt because he went on CNN. And the main reason why he went, not because he went on there, because President Trump told the truth. President Trump exposed how they are again, him along with Donald. You know what? I see this as a beautiful ticket. President Trump with VP Donald. Oh my goodness. Can you imagine it? Their heads would explode. You know what this reminds me of? You have President Trump, strong man, happen to be white. And then you have Donald, strong man, happen to be black. And they're both Republicans. This is the Republican Party that I like. Not the Liz Cheney, the Adam Kissingers, none of that. You know, Mitch McConnell. They are the good old boys. They're the ones who make everyone believe that the Republican Party could be racist. Look at this with Donald's on the CNN panel, and they are livid. They can't stand it. Watch.
Well, a couple of things. First of all, town halls are for the voters, not for the press, not for the person who's the moderator. Caitlin spent more time interjecting her own viewpoints or her own views on the situation.
Excuse me, those are actually facts.
Now, are you guys not going to interject your views on me, or do I get a chance to speak now?
If you're speaking falsely, those were facts.
The town hall is for the president to speak to the voters of New Hampshire, not for this back and forth with media. That's number one. Hold on. That's number one. Number two, with respect to Ukraine, I totally disagree. He did not say he was just going to give over Ukraine the way you intimate, Van. He did not say that.
He didn't say what he said
is that he would actually look for a solution to end it quickly. He put 24 hours on it, but let's be very clear. What Joe Biden has done has been a disaster.
Stop it real quick.
Because initially...
Real quick. That's so true. See, they don't want to acknowledge what Joe Biden has done because this is what they want. They want to topple nations. They want Russia to crumble. It's the same thing that took place in World War II, World War I. They want these nations to crumble. They're pushing us to the verge of World War III. And it's the Democrats, and they all like, well, they're so righteous and we got to destroy Putin. And Donald is spot on. He's holding his own. Go.
With Ukraine, Joe Biden wanted to give Vladimir Zelensky a ride out of Dodge. He wanted to give him a plane ride. And it wasn't until people in Moscow, in Ukraine, here in the United States said this invasion is wrong that Joe Biden reversed course.
Do you want a victory in Ukraine? Do you want a victory in Ukraine?
I'm just trying to respond to everything that's been coming up on the table. Last thing, let me say this. We spent 23 minutes talking about January 6th. We could have been talking about a whole lot of other issues instead of doing that for the first half hour or so. But let me be very clear. What was said in this town hall about National Guard troops that were authorized by Caitlin was wrong. I'm on the Oversight Committee. I was in 2 hearings on January 6th. It was testified in oversight that Donald Trump authorized National Guard troops on January 4. He followed up in a call with then acting Secretary of Defense on January 5, trying to see where the deployment was on those troops. That is testimony in the Oversight Committee. Everybody testified in Oversight Committee when Nancy Pelosi was Speaker of the House, except one organization, and that was the Capitol Police.
Did you read the
Nancy
Secretary of
Pelosi
Defense's
would
book?
not allow that.
Yeah, Nancy Pelosi would not allow
it was testified to in the Oversight Committee under oath.
Let me just correct.
Yeah, they didn't want Nancy Pelosi like, nope, because they didn't want the truth to come out. They didn't want the truth to come out. They didn't want it to come out. And here it is. And you know what? Donald's, what was his number, Shannon? It was like on Donald's, on his Twitter page, before he went on CNN this time. He's been on there a couple of times before, but this particular time, before he went on there, his Twitter follow number was like 200 and something thousand.
It was under 200,000.
It was under 200,000.
Yes, and then last night he tweeted, "Thank you for 200,000 follows." And then this morning he was up to 300,000. He's at like 325 now.
325.
Just after his appearance on
Because people
CNN.
are saying, wow, look at this. This is a strong black Republican. Not that his color has anything to do with it. I only throw it out there because, the tyrannical left, they hate to see that. That's the only reason why I throw it out there. But his complexion has nothing to do with it. He's just an intelligent man that's actually speaking the truth on the Communist News Network. And you know, they're like, oh my goodness, what did we do? We did it wrong. We did it wrong. Well, here's another one with him. And he had to tell the lady, nope, stop. You know, she doesn't like this because she happens to be.
Isn't she the same lady on The View?
No. No. Yeah, actually, she does show up on The View sometimes. She does show up on The View.
Token Republican on The View?
Yeah, she does show up on The View. She's a rhino. You know what it is, right? She's a rhino against Trump. RAT, R-A-T. Rhinos against Trump. RAT. Listen to this.
Republican voters want him to come back.
Because he's lied to them incessantly.
Stop. He actually did the job. You know that. And frankly, he did the job better than the current president right now. And that is indisputable. Name the issue. Donald Trump did it better.
Yeah, it's indisputable. They know it, but they want to ignore it. They know it's indisputable, but they don't care. They don't care. They're going to continue down the path trying to convince everybody that President Trump went out there and lied. And let me remind you, the same people that's trying to convince us that President Trump lied are the same people that's trying to convince us that I could get pregnant. Make it make sense. So who are you going to believe? President Trump, or are you going to believe them? Because they're saying Will Johnson can get pregnant. I mean, I'm just saying. Right? It's crazy, bizarre old world. Crazy, bizarre world. Last night I did a video, just really quick. I just put it on, did a video on Facebook, and I was talking about how President Trump called her a nasty woman. And it's gone, Facebook, they're holding it back. It should be, 500,000 views right now, if not more, probably 1 million views. But they've been someone at Facebook has taken a special interest into my Facebook account. Same thing on YouTube. They've taken a special interest and be like, well, we don't like what Will Johnson's saying. And I'm going to throw this in there only because the left hate it, because I'm a black Republican, right? I'm a black registered Republican. Now, Mitch McConnell and Lindsey Graham and Liz Cheney, I don't, no. I'm a black conservative Republican, black Christian conservative Republican, right? And they don't like it. Color doesn't mean anything, but I throw it in there because the left, they don't like it. Anyways, we are at that point right now. I want to say thank you for anybody who decided to bless me, to help me to continue going. Can I ask for a favor? Can you hand me that card over there with the fans on it? Hand me that card over there with the fans on it. I'm going to ask for a favor. Okay. And, normally I don't ever do this, but every time I'm working here, I'm only asking this right now because they're like really hurting my systems and stuff like that. They're hurting me from reaching people. I'm going to ask for a favor. If you find it in your heart to help me, support me, replace this card. This is a card. And I can't, normally when I do my little sound bites, Russia. For those of you who know what I'm talking about, or, China, or you ain't black. See, I'm pushing the button. It's not working because this video card has gone out on me.
Well, we have one computer down over here.
Yeah, it's gone down, and it's gone down. So if you find it in your heart to say, okay, you know what, I'm gonna help Will in the studio, please go to my website, uniteamericafirst.com. Help me out. This thing has gone south, right? It's big, right? I mean, it's pretty big, but that's the way they make these things, right? So if you find it in your heart to help me, I'm just putting it out there. I'm just asking. If you don't ask, you never receive, right? Yeah. So if you go to my website, uniteamericafirst.com, you can go there, support me. You can select it however you want to. My physical address is there as well. It's there as well. And, if you want to do super chats, that'll work. Anything is a blessing. Anything is a blessing. I'm only asking God's people to help me.
And we did get some donations. Well, we got a super chat from Cheryl.
Thank you, Cheryl.
And we got some Facebook stars. We got Brian, Mike, Nancy, Marty, Mike, Michelle, Rodney, and Chad on Facebook.
Yep. Queen on YouTube said it got worn out. It sure did. I wore it out. Russia, Russia, Russia. So please, if you find it in your heart, please support me. Please support me. You know, I don't ever ask for stuff, but I need your help. I need your help. I need your help. Okay, we're going to go full screen on this. Please, we're going to go over to Rumble. You can see the link right there. Rumble.com/Will Johnson/live, or right there at the bottom, you can go to www.uaf.media, which takes you to my website. And once you go to my website, it's really easy. All you have to do is click on Watch Will on Rumble. You'll see it right there. Watch Will on Rumble. Watch Will on Rumble.
All right, we ready?
Yep, we are ready. I'll see you over there, everybody. Come on over. Come on over. And hit my thumbs up while you are there.
And for the rest of you, we will see you tomorrow.
All right. Let's see. You have to give just